Welcome everybody on Friday night. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody had the chance to watch some of the videos on the Andy Morphew search. I've watched enough today. I feel like I've got a feel of it. I want to tell you about an app that Plunder has shared on her page and also Profile in Evil. I don't know if you saw it or not. I've got a rather large iPad here. If you can see this little, you probably can't see which one it is, but it's actually it's a ARCGIS Explorer. And once you go onto that site, if you go onto it, you're going to the PE. It's Profile in Evil. Suzanne Morphew search September 2020. When you go on that site, you basically do not log in. You just punch. You download the Explorer, and then when it comes up to log in, just push to go into it. Don't put any credentials in there. If you put in credentials, it will log you as if you're a searcher. But this is one of the maps today that they did. I don't know if it's hard for me to hold it up there, but it shows everywhere they searched. And I can't do every single step search on here. I don't know if that's something that maybe only the ones that log in do. But it shows a lot of the area that they search, and even the road around Salatis is the here you go, the Salatis area, and they said that they did a lot of searching around the home, and now there's some pretty disturbing information that came out of their searches up there. One is that Barry, of course, he made this big statement to Lauren Sharp, which is MIA in all this. I don't know if she was out there today or not, but yesterday she was not reporting from the scene and of the search, and I didn't see anything where that she was out there again today. I don't know what is happened or why. If anybody knows why she's not out there, hope she's well. But Barry was putting up trail cams, and he was he had a shotgun with him, warning people to stay off private property. Now, he claimed that he would definitely come help the search if he was invited, and he was invited. And there was a 7-minute video that was done by by Andy Morphew, or Mormon. I'm sorry, I can't talk tonight. By Andy Mormon to one of the news agencies, and I could not get it all. I mean, there's a lot of dead space in there, so I took it and I edited it down, and I want you to listen to it and give you a good idea of what happened today on their search.
Suspect that she was killed and hidden somewhere in the mountains.
And her husband not involved in this search? Have you talked to him? What's the relationship there?
I have not talked to him. He was invited into the search by Profiling Evil, and he did not respond. We ran into him yesterday, and he was out hanging trail cams with a shotgun on his shoulder and just kind of told us, hey, you're about to step on private property. We did uncover some things on that mountaintop close to the home yesterday that are being processed by CBI. I'm afraid this is domestic abuse, to be honest with you.
You think her husband did it?
I think there's a strong possibility of that. Her working with domestic abuse meetings and things out here that kind of make me suspicious.
See, I cut it down quite a bit, but Andy's is coming out and saying now that he believes it was a domestic abuse situation, and that Barry is responsible. He is just plain and put it out there simply that that's what happened. And there's been a lot of people that have been reporting about this all along that that he was out there with a shotgun over his shoulder. And this was another one that I copied. This came out of critical information coming. I think, I don't remember who had put this out, but this may have come off of one of the live streams that I saw. One of the YouTubers I saw, but you know, he's out there hanging trail cams, but this is actually from Andy, with a shotgun over his shoulder, telling people, do not come on my property. And, you know, you got to wonder, this guy claims he wants to find his wife, but he is guarding his land with a shotgun. So, you know, I don't know. This is some of the pictures I recorded where they had searched yesterday, according to that map on that software. And this was another one that but Profile and Evil had on there last night, had all of the, where every foot had touched the soil that actually showed up on their map. And it was pretty impressive. But, you know, Barry claims he wants to help find his wife, but he doesn't want anybody up. Now, listen, I understand if he's just trying to protect the house from people, sightseers coming up and taking pictures. But he could have well said to Andy, look, Andy, I'll let your group of 10 or 15 of you that's in your particular group go and search around the house, the yard, around the property. That's no problem, but I don't want all of these people around my house. That would have been fine. I'd understand that, you know. But he says, no, I don't want nobody trespassing, and told Andy himself, that's far enough. It's my property, and there's no trespassing here. You know, and then Andy said that he found something above the house on the mountain that it turned it into evidence. That it was evidence of something. But he has admitted, he says that he had heard since he's been down there in Maysville and Silas, or I think it is Silas or Silas, or I don't know the exact pronunciation, but that he has found out that Suzanne was involved in a domestic abuse group with helping other women. So that seems to tell me that she was experiencing some, and this goes back to that conversation we talked about where she was on the phone with one of the ladies that had cancer treatment with her, and the woman was inviting her to come down with the girls down to Florida and stay with her for a while. And when she was talking on the phone, Barry shows up, and she said that he overheard the conversation and snapped at her and said, you're not going anywhere, you know, in a harsh tone. And she said her voice tightened up. And so, you know, it tells me there probably was some domestic abuse. And that's what we talked about. And that was my theory before, that maybe while she was texting this girl on her phone, something happened. He snapped and it went too far. And, sure, I understand. You know, maybe if it could have happened that way, you know, that something has happened and they had a domestic abuse situation where she was killed. And that's what Andy has come out and said. You know, there's no speculation. He says he believes that's what happened. Now, I'm not sure about all this psychic stuff. That's so far away from my wheelhouse that I don't know about it. But there is one lady that they claim that she's pretty reliable that has said that she saw him chasing her through the house and strangle her in the bathroom. But, you know, I don't know. There's no evidence of that. But I just say that if somebody really wants to look for their wife, or really wants to assist in any type of search, then he should be out there helping them and allowing some of the group, maybe Andy and a few others, to come and search close to the house and on their property. But he's saying no, putting up trail cameras and walking around with a shotgun. Personally, I think he's unhinged. I think that if they do to have enough evidence to arrest him, they're going to have a SWAT team go get him, because I think he is getting more aggressively, instead of, saying that Andy's doing this just for publicity. Why publicity for what? You publicity to find his sister, find his wife? Then yeah, I'd be doing it for publicity too, to get that done. I don't know. Please report Trevor's GoFundMe. Yeah, they said they asked Andy or someone associated with him asked that for that GoFundMe to help with the search efforts, and they said no. Supposedly, they absolutely said no. So they are requesting, if anybody wants to go to a GoFundMe page, to go to the one that supports the search effort by Andy, not by Trevor, because apparently none of that money is being used to support any search effort that we can find out. Nobody knows where that money's going. That's the big deal. You can say anything you want to on GoFundMe, but nobody really knows. I can't understand just the lack of cooperation. I mean, this is another lie by Barry. We discussed that in another video of things that I've seen that are untruths. Well, he said, nobody's invited me to be a part of this search, which that is not true. Profiling Evil, the guys on Profiling Evil, asked Barry to come out and help with this search, and he's not doing it. In fact, somebody told me that during this coming weekend, instead of being a part of all this, that he was going hunting. So that's, he's really helping to find his wife. Now I'm going to bring up something which I have been wrestling whether or not to bring it up. I never publish an email from anybody, but I think this is from Barry. That's just my opinion. I even asked this person, I'm not going to put their name down. I asked them straight up, are you Barry? They refused to answer that question. They never came out and said they wasn't. They beat around the bush of it. So I'm going to show you this email. I want you to read it and read it with me. They say, the missing live stream, the LE or the law enforcement in this case did a horrible job. Messed up badly as they know it. They could have done much more. The cameras on the DOT show plates. They could have investigated every vehicle down the road that day. And the reason why they say I'm talking stupid was because I asked Barry to come on the show. You're talking stupid. Why would Barry come on your show? That's a waste of breath. See what I mean? Suzanne's an avid bike rider. Well, see, now that's not true, because her friends say she was just learning to ride a bike. Hadn't even had one that long. Avid bike rider. Every day she rode before church on Sundays, and people red flagged it because Barry asked if the bike was there. Say what? That's not a red flag. I'm in a Facebook group full of their friends and family. You're not getting the good reports on their marriage. See, he puts that out there now, or somebody does. We're not getting good reports on their marriage. He wants to put that out there. It's a great marriage. They didn't fight. I asked one close person enough questions that now I know she was spent May 9th at dinner with Suzanne and Barry. Suzanne and Barry blew up when some psychic trying to say saw Barry strangle his wife Saturday. So I guess this is after she's missing. Saturday night. Said that 100% wrong, because I know what they did Saturday night. They were out to dinner. I know this for a fact. And she also stated he stopped in the afternoon at a gift shop, shopped in the afternoon at gift shops. We are assuming for Mother's Day gift for his wife, and I think she said Suzanne ended up shopping with him. Now, I don't know. I haven't found anyone that can substantiate that. That would be good to know. Nobody's reported that or was seen with him in the afternoon. Now, I haven't heard one person say that. And then having dinner together that evening. So now that I posted that, I'm told to call law enforcement tip line because it's the first any of them have heard a clue of this whereabouts for Saturday evening. So see, you never know what you might find out by talking and asking questions in a group like this. But I also encounter a lot of rumors and hearsay and flat out lies. So I don't know. I don't know if that's who it is, but they claim all this stuff, and I haven't. If anybody knows any information on this, I'd like to know. And I don't know who this person is. They gave a name, a girl's name. I went to there. They supposed to have a YouTube channel with about 3 videos on it. What I think it could be Barry, or it could be a surrogate of Barry. And what I mean by that is it could be Barry using this channel because they know that person. And I think it is either Barry or Barry's surrogate. In other words, Barry knows this person, and they are in cahoots together to try to, I wouldn't be surprised if Barry's not doing the typing. You understand? I just don't think, I think that is, and there was some other conversation between me and that person, and they just basically called me a liar and said I didn't know what I was talking about, and basically if I called myself a investigator, but it's here and there. I thought that was, does anybody say? I haven't heard one person say they saw Suzanne with Barry on Saturday. Not one. Or shopping with him when he told that afternoon. He told his friend Morgan to stop work at 11 over at the house. They were doing the beach work on that retaining wall, that rock retaining wall, and told him to, stop working at 11 o'clock. So, and then he he told Morgan, I'm going bike riding, at least according to Morgan, I'm going to make my wife happy. We're going bike riding or doing trails and stuff. And then he was seen in town shopping. Now, nobody said they have seen her and him shopping on Saturday. So she's nowhere to be seen that I know of. So I don't know. I don't know if it's Barry. It sounds like Barry. I asked the person, I said, are you Barry? I said, if you're Barry, come on our show. I'll let you tell your story. I'll let you tell your side. And that's when he said, Barry's not going to come on your show. It's a waste of his breath. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you're not Barry, if you're not him, how can you speak for him? I don't know. I think it is. I personally think that's Barry on typing that to me.
I agree with Haley that you must have struck a nerve with someone.
Yeah, I actually probably did. I tell you my rant. If you've seen my rant video on here, I did it about the first month, I think, that she was missing. I called him out, challenged him to come out and start talking to the media. I told him to man up. Maybe I did. Maybe it's somebody in this group that is actually has struck a nerve,
I don't care. That's a question.
Where?
Did Lauren Scharf take Cassidy to CV yesterday?
I don't know. I haven't. Yesterday, according to the news, Courtney Fromm did the reporting from the scene, and Lauren Sharp was not around, and nobody knows why or where she's at. I checked the news agency to see if she was still on the staff, and she is. But I don't know what. It's almost like she struck a nerve with somebody, and they pulled her off the project. I don't know. I was trying to see if plunder or somebody had found out anything. I know Profile and Evil is on the ground out there, so maybe they found out. But I just don't know why she is not reporting, if she did report today or not.
2 things. Crystal says, I think he might have misspelled his name to throw Thomas off. And Amy asked a question. Just wondering, since you are law enforcement, do you believe Morgan? Do you think she's the mistress or someone else, or no one at all?
Well, I'm retired law enforcement, but I personally think they had some type of relationship, and the reason why is the guy that at his work scene called her Nacho, and that is a term to be or in a relationship apparently. And also, one of the workers told one of the other ones, "You better leave her alone. She's berries," and that they would run off together. The workers said they would run off together during the day and be gone for 2 or 3 hours for lunch. And just because this girl says, "I'm not the mistress," doesn't make it true. And just because he comes out and says she's a meth head doesn't make that might be just a ruse. I don't know.
True Crime asks, do you know if Major Dames went on the search? I'm not getting a reply.
I have not been able to verify that if Major Dames or not. I've not even verified if they even searched that area or not. I would hope they did, just because I've heard more, stuff about it. His supposed validity of his thing. Is that True Crime?
True. I've already went past there. Rhonda Adams wants to know, who is Cassidy?
Yeah, who Cassidy? You talking about Cassidy? I don't know who you're
Cassidy
referring to.
is the 3 worker.
Oh well, yeah, Cassidy
theirs.
Cordova. Yeah, that's his name, Cassidy Cordova. No, and he is not cooperating with the news media. I know. Or at least last time that I went to his Facebook page. I didn't try to contact him because I did actually send him a message, but he didn't reply. But he said on his Facebook page before, I don't know if he blocked it or not, but he said Fox 10 News or Fox 21 News calling every day. I'm not talking to them, period. So I don't know if maybe he changed his mind, but that would be great, because I feel like he apparently is working with had worked with him for a long period of time.
2 said on here that Morgan looks like the younger version of Suzanne, and he or she says had an affair, didn't take the lie detector test for a reason.
Yeah, that I know I hear so many things about the lie detector test. No, it's not any good. Don't do it. If you're guilty, don't take it. Okay, I'll just tell you that, because it's going to tell if you lie. Sorry about that.
That was me.
That was my wife. It's going to tell if you're deceptive. It's going to, just like the demonstration video I showed. The guy had the girl write down a number and stick it in her pocket, and then told her to answer no to every single number. And then he told her what number it was. I mean, they're not clinically reliable, but they do work. And they do eliminate suspects. If Barry would take it and the voice analysis and it come back negative, it's not deceptive, then they can move on to something else. They could concentrate a mass amount of effort to try to find somebody that might have abducted her or something like that. You just think, if he took a lie detector and a voice analysis and they said he's not deceptive, then there'd be all kinds of efforts to try to find somebody that could have done this. But there's all the evidence is leading right back to him. And after Andy said today that he found something on the mountain that evidence is processing. So it'd be great if we could find out what that is.
Sarah wanted to know, please let me know about the bike of Barry's. Did Barry have a bike and all that?
I've never heard that Barry had a bike, although he does mention a bike when he talks to, Morgan says that he said that I've got to go home and either ride bikes or go trail riding or something like that, make the wife happy. So obviously he does, but I haven't heard anything about that.
Happy Little Accident said a searcher on PE Live chat 30 minutes ago said Barry was guarding his driveway today with his truck and Bobcat.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. Somebody said the Bobcat was missing. I read that today too, but since I don't have any way to show it and prove it, because I don't know anybody that's out there at the scene, I don't know if it is or not.
They found stuff yesterday too in the search.
Yeah, I feel like some things will be found. Whether it has anything to do with this, I don't know. Because in my opinion, I don't think she's close to the house. I mean, why would he do that?
Okay.
You know?
Lauren Wally, Sheriff made an announcement that the evidence was processed and has nothing to do with the case.
That's right here. I'd be honest with you, I didn't think it would. I don't think. Look, he had all of Saturday. If this happened Saturday, he had all of Saturday and all night Saturday night to do something with her body if he did it. I mean, there's so much land out there. I mean, he could go 5 miles, he could go 1 mile away in the middle of the woods, dig a shallow grave and put her in there, and it might not be found till years later because it's so vast. The area is so vast. You know, it's going to take somebody that knows something to come forward, because I don't think he will ever do it. Amy, thank you very much. I sure appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Somebody said that they heard they didn't think she'd be bike riding because of being on chemo.
Well,
chemo, one problem wouldn't be I heard because of getting off chemo, one problem wouldn't be bike riding.
I don't think she'd been off of it a while, the way I understand. But first off, I don't think she ever got on her bike. That's not, I mean, you know, is it possible that he had a secret room in the house? He doesn't want anybody in property. Maybe, but it may be some evidence that he doesn't want. Well, one thing is, I'm wondering if they ever processed the Bobcat. I'm wondering how much, you know. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Maui. Thank you. Beautiful name too. Maui, that's be a beautiful name. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I think that I'm wondering if they ever processed the Bobcat, you know, the blade and the, you know, the bucket and all of these stuff, the handles, to see if there was any blood on them. You know, if they did that, I'm assuming they did, but I don't know. And, but I really don't think, and it's sad to say, but I really don't think she's anywhere close to his property. He's got too much opportunity, and we're speaking if he's guilty. He's got too much opportunity to go to a different area. You know what?
Nothing. I'll take care of it.
He's got too much opportunity to go to a different area. In other words, say during the night, say it happened at 10 o'clock that night, he could load her up in the truck and drive. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Turquoise. Beautiful name too. He's got too much opportunity. He could drive, like I said, a mile, 2-3 miles into the bushy area, the forest, up the mountain. He's got a 4-wheel drive truck. he practically could have took that bobcat up the mountain there. And, I don't know how the roads are, the trails are, but theoretically he could have drove that bobcat with her body in the bucket for a couple of miles, buried her out there somewhere with the bobcat. I mean, so it's going to take a lot of searching, but I'll be honest with you, it's like somebody said, and I'll show you another little thing that this has got a good point about this. I had heard a rumor that there was they were searching, they went up to Walmart up there next to somewhere near the motel where it had the chlorine, and they were pulling CBI was pulling all the video from that Walmart. And I was wondering if it was because he was buying bleach or what he was buying. But this is a thing that I read about that incident up there. And this is somebody that works up there posted this online. See what you think. Said, now I know why that CBI agent was at the business I happen to work at, and I think it is Walmart, asking for our camera footage from Thursday before Mother's Day all the way through Mother's Day. They got all the camera footage from all the businesses along a stretch of 36 in Bloomfield. It's something I have never said in any other groups. Now it's all makes sense. I knew that CBI agent was working on this case. I just knew it. He wouldn't say. Now I'm wondering, since he booked a motel room of 36 in Broomfield, all 36 in Broomfield, did he drive from Maysville through direction toward Boulder? If he did, Andy needs 5,000 people to cover that area. And, we looked at a map, and they did too. It was a thing I was watching. They always assumed he went this other route. But if you went Boulder, there's actually like 4 different routes to get there. But if you went through Boulder area, there's tons and tons of places. Just think about that. If somebody's a hunter, if somebody's got a 4-wheel drive, they could very well pull up a map. You could pull up it on Google Map. You could pull up anywhere, or he could just drive till he finds a dirt road. Not even, because Barry's not stupid, guys. I'm gonna tell you, Barry is not stupid. And if you look at this, he could drive up that road until he finds. He can maybe know of a road up there that maybe he's looked at before. Maybe he's planned this out, and he could have drove up that road 2 or 3 miles and then did something up there.
Jonathan Tucker says Barry Morphew is misunderstood and innocent of all of this.
Is there a reason why you say that? Do you have anything you want to share with us? Because listen, we do not blame anyone for this. We're not saying he's guilty. We just say all the evidence leads us to think he's guilty. Do you have something you want to share with us? We're not going to come down on you because you believe this. Everybody has a right to their opinion.
Right.
Do you have anything that you can share with us that would maybe convince me otherwise? If you got something, if you know something, then please share it with us. I'm all ears, believe me. Just saying it is not enough. I want to know what you tell me what you're thinking. I enjoy a difference of opinion. And if you could tell me what you're thinking, why do you feel this way? Well, if you want to tell me, I'm all ears. I really would. Misunderstood and innocent, I don't get it. He said so many things that he says is true that I can tell you that I have a problem with, He said he's been cooperating with CBI. CBI agents tell Andy he's not been cooperating. Even early on, he's refused to take a polygraph. He's said that his buddy had 400 tours in the Middle East, and that's frankly impossible. And he said they searched 200 square miles, which that would take about 10 years to do that. That's 4,100 and something acres. It's impossible. He said that a whole lot of stuff, and it's just been totally not truthful. And I tell you, I could put a case together right in front of you. But I'd like to know. I feel like everybody has their opinion. If you maybe have some information that you can share with us that would convince me otherwise. We're all like a big jury here. We're looking at all the evidence and deciding what we think. But if you can share with us something that maybe would you convince us to think another way, I'm right here. I want to listen to you.
Several people say, "Hi, Barry." Feeling the pressure.
Yeah, and if you are Barry,
yeah,
I invite you to come on here. I'll put you here. I won't even ask you a question. I'll let you just state what your side is. It's an open invitation. But if you're not, go ahead and tell us. Tell us your opinion. Tell us why you think this.
No, Vicki, there's no guest on the phone.
No, I wish.
And Judy, we don't know that it's
We
Barry.
don't know this Barry. We've asked him to tell us why he believes that Barry's misunderstood and not guilty, not and innocent. And it's open for any interpretation that he wants to give. And listen, we will not pick on you. I would ask everybody to just refrain from making any statements and let you say your piece. Go ahead. We're waiting for you to say it. I don't know, but what Andy found out today about her going to spousal abuse or domestic abuse type meetings, that says so much. And that's not that she was doing this to help people, because I think Barry would have brought that out. Well, she was helping domestic violence people, or that would have been brought out by a brother. But see, he didn't know that. He says, I learned that while I was down here. And he was close to his sister, called her and talked to her on the phone. So, I'm wondering, and this lady on the phone saying that Barry came in and says, you're not going anywhere. It wasn't a joke. I mean, she actually said that she was seized up on the phone, that she could tell that she was actually afraid.
What's Barry's last name?
Barry's last name is Morphew, Morphew. Who was it that said that? What name that said that?
Jonathan Tucker.
Jonathan, are you still with us? Would you please tell us why you believe that? I mean, please, I'm asking you. I don't have a reason to believe that, and if you can share something with me other than just conjecture or your beliefs, that'd be great. Well, I guess Jonathan doesn't want to tell us.
He may have already gotten out.
He may have gotten out. But Jonathan, you're welcome. If you're listening, to please just tell us. Honestly, I will not. I won't condemn you, or I won't accuse you. I'm just simply saying I would allow you to tell us why you believe that he is misunderstood and innocent. I would really like to know. I actually enjoy a good debate, and I enjoy somebody that really, if somebody truly believes that, hey, tell your side. I'm that guy.
Barb said, what did he say? He said that
Barry was just misunderstood and innocent. And I wanted to know if he had some reason to think that, and more than just an opinion, and allow him to tell us his side. Because listen, All we are is, like I said, we are like a jury. We listen to all the evidence. We take in everything that we see and hear. We research. And I know for a fact, I want to highlight this one here. Abby,
yeah, good.
former law enforcement investigator, do you feel like it's enough circumstantial evidence already to arrest Barry? I don't know what the police have, just on what we know, no. But the police, I know, have his truck GPS data. I know that, I don't know if they found any DNA in the house or any DNA in the truck. Or I know they did 2 search warrants on the home, and we talked about this. It's almost impossible to get a second search warrant of a crime scene.
Bama wants
I'm
to know.
serious.
It would be great to know if we have tunnel vision here.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but if you look, what I do is I try to look at all the things, the circumstantial evidence, and the lack of cooperation and the lack of crying out for my missing wife that Barry's doing says a lot, Just think of it as yourself. Your wife goes missing. First, you don't say a word about it to the press. You don't come out to the media or anything to about 10 days because they say it's too soon. You call the police, but it's too soon to come out for the media. And then you make a private Facebook or whatever post of a 25-second appeal. You don't give an interview in front of the public. If it was me, like I said, and I think every one of you here would feel this way, we would be out there in front of these people saying every single day to the press, please help me find my wife. I'll do anything you want me to do. I'll take a polygraph. I'll take a voice stress test. I'll let you come in my house. I don't need a search warrant. Come on in my house.
Sally Scott says, why is it almost impossible? What if they found something that
because
wouldn't be hard?
A second bite of the apple, and that's what the judges feel like. It's a second bite of the apple. Personally, I can speak from experience. I left a piece of my personal property, a flashlight, inside a search warrant. It was a $100 flashlight. $100 is a big deal for me. I didn't make that much money. I asked the judge, just let me go in and recover it. I left it under a bed. I was pulling some evidence out under a bed, and I remember leaving it there. And I asked him to let me go in there. He said, tough, no way. He said, I don't give second search warrants on locations unless there is major evidence that needs to be seized. And here's the thing. They go in and they do their initial search warrant. They seal the warrant, start off with. They may have got some DNA had come up or something had come up in their first search warrant that the lab results did not come back until after they got off the scene. So they petitioned the judge to go back in. I'm just telling you, it is almost impossible to get a second search warrant because the judge feels like you should have got it there the first time. And you can't just say, I need to go back in the house and look for evidence of a crime. You got to have probable cause to get that warrant. Now, the first search warrant is fairly easy to get because they can say they have a missing person, possibly abduction, possibly happen inside the house. Okay? They can go to the judge and say, we want to look for evidence of the crime itself. No problem. The judge will probably do that. It wouldn't be as hard. But after you seized all this evidence at the first search warrant, and then you come in to the judge and say, well, judge, we need to go back in there. And he's going to say, wait a minute. What? Why? Well, he's going to have to say, this is our probable cause that we have to. Either we had some DNA evidence that just showed up that this massive amount of wet spot on the carpet of the bed, or we took some pictures of blood spatter or something, and we determined that it is blood. Say they had a place in there that showed up and luminol it, and it appeared to be blood, but that's not scientific. I mean, sure, luminol does for blood, but it also does for a lot of things, semen and other stuff. So they take it out the blood and they test the blood, and boom, it shows it's blood from Susan Morphew, or it's blood from somebody else, a third party in this. Then they could actually go in with another search warrant. But they're going to have to be something more than a hunch. It has to be probable cause. And if you don't know what a probable cause is, it's one step above, it's a few steps above reasonable suspicion. It's basically what a normal person, a normal police officer, or a normal person would feel like is a right to do something. It's got to be more. It's like, all right, say I'm behind you in your car and you're speeding, then I'm a police officer. My probable cause to stop you is that you're speeding, or you bump across the line. My probable cause to stop you is I think you are drunk. But now if you're walking down the road and you just have your hands in your pockets and you're in say you're a white guy in a all black neighborhood and you know there's no white people that live down here, then you have a reasonable suspicion that something's up with this guy. You know, you might be able to go talk to him, but if you ask him, hey, you got anything in your pockets? And he says no, and you say, may I check you? And he says no, then you don't have enough probable cause to check him. You just got a reasonable suspicion. It's a real gray area, and it's not the Terry stop. You've heard of the Terry stop when they frisk you, you know, and the stop, and they had a thing in Chicago and New York where stop and frisk had a law where if you were in the wrong neighborhood, they could just stop and frisk you, and they seized all kinds of guns. Well, Supreme Court said that's illegal. You can't do that anymore. So they can't, they just have to let them go on by. Now they can stop and talk to you. There's no wrong with that. And if you give them some type of probable cause, you know, you smell marijuana and it's not a marijuana state, you see an end of a gun sticking out of his pocket, you know, something like that. But, you know, what did you think about the email I got? Did you think that possibly could have been from Barry or been a close friend of his? I just got the feeling that definitely was directly from him, you know, because I asked, I said, are you Barry? Are you Barry, or is Barry speaking through you? Never would 100% say, you know, say, oh, you're crazy or all this and that. Yeah, could have been Morgan, could have been, you know, it definitely is not, it's definitely they do have a YouTube page, a couple of videos.
Joanne from Australia said, hang on, didn't he buy another property, a property they wouldn't search because he bought it after Suzanne went missing? Easy to hide a body there before you bought it. Yeah.
Well, he did buy a lot. I'm not sure how many acres it was. He paid I think he said $150,000 for it or something like that. There is everybody that I've talked to, I don't think that would be, I don't think he's going to hide it on anything that could be tied to him. I just don't see that happening. I think if you wanted to hide something, would you hide it in an area that could be directly traced back to you? Nah, you're going to either hide it somewhere that you have easy access to, or somewhere in the woods out there where, you know, that somebody's probably not going to find it. And you got to realize this, in about 2 to 3 weeks, they've already got snow in the high country. So probably in 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to have snow. And the searches from then time is over until the spring. You know, that's just it. And another thing too, there is some information that's going around that the rock wall, you remember the house that the police went to and they searched that area and they saw the concrete up, and they even did some ground penetrating radar, and they said they didn't find anything. Well, there is somebody that is an architectural engineer that has looked at that wall that's out there where Morgan was working. It's it's not really a wall. I say it's stone. They put stone together in a semicircle. They've I've got my thing is not doing the right run. Okay. They put stone in a semicircle, and this architectural engineer, and I think it's a female actually, she said on the right, if you're looking at the picture, she says on the right side, that doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be that way. So somebody said, well, maybe she's buried underneath those rocks. People listen, I don't think that he's that stupid. I don't. I think he is never going to put it anywhere that he is working around, or he's, he's not. If he does that, he is stupid, because sooner or later, that thing's going to be dug up or something, and they're going to discover something, and it's going to go back to him.
Okay. Somebody said, I know a SAR with dogs that went into a crime scene and found 2 dead girls buried in concrete that had been searched by LE dogs and penetrating radar. They couldn't find any of the bodies until the SAR team went in.
Right.
Also,
search and rescue.
Okay. Also, someone else said, what about truth serum or waterboarding?
Yeah, it'd be nice, but no, they're not going to let us do that, or let anybody do that now. But yeah, it could. But just think about this. All right, here's my reasoning behind it. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze.
Look at the light.
Yeah, look at the light. Is this? Put yourself in that situation. Say he killed her, and say he didn't mean to kill her. Okay, it was a rage incident, and now he's panicking. What do I do with her? Now Morgan said, when I saw him or talked to him, he was almost in a panic. She said, you must have the worst night of your life. She knows something, in my opinion. All right, just say you did this. Now put yourself, as hard as it may be, put yourself in that situation for a minute. Are you going to hide her in some place that can be traced back to you? Think about that. Are you going to put her in a job site that can be traced back to you? No. And especially in Colorado, people, this place is pretty desolate. You can go 5 miles and be completely, nothing out there. So, and he's a hunter. She's small. You could take her, he could put her on his back. It wouldn't be easy, but he could haul her way back in the woods and dig a shallow grave, and that's all it would take. I'm just saying this. I'm just saying, if he did it, there's a lot. This place right here, Colorado in itself, and there are also a bunch of mines they're searching. They said there's one that has a 60-foot vertical shaft, and they are actually, since they're trying to get people to volunteer to give them some type of camera system that goes over into those mines. But if they can't find it, these guys are going to rappel down there. Those cavers are going to rappel down in there to try to check these mines out. But I mean, there's just so much area that he could hide them in. I just do not believe that it's going to be anywhere around around where he lives. Now, he could put her in cement around a wall or retaining wall or something like that, and thinking they'll never find her. You just don't know what people will do if they're in a panic, And Morgan said, if we can believe anything she said that he was distraught, in a panic. Never seen him like that before, ever. And, she made this kind of statement the other night. She said, I've worked for him, and then she pauses a long time. She didn't want to say how long she even worked for him, Did Jonathan come back?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, wish he would. If you're out there, buddy, I sure would like to talk to you. maybe, hey, I'll do this though, Jonathan. If you're out there, send me an email. Just if you don't want to talk on here, email's right down there at the bottom of the screen. Send me an email and tell me why you believe that. If you, maybe you got some evidence that convinced me otherwise, you know. Anybody else got anything? I've actually got something else to bring up too. Anybody searched Riverside where Morgan and Barry worked until 11 a.m. that Saturday? Yeah, that's what we were talking about, that retaining wall, the rock retaining wall, is that Morgan said that she was told to get the beach perfectly flat. And she said it was so out of character for him that she was like, Barry, what's up? You know, what are you saying? What's up? And apparently he was just kind of, out there. But I just don't believe anything's done with that wall.
Barry will not confess.
No, I don't think he will either, unless the only way he will confess is if death penalty is on the table. And I don't think Colorado's got the death penalty. Somebody told me they didn't. I don't know if they do or not.
Has EquiSearch been out there?
I don't know if EquiSearch has been out there. A bunch of people have, a bunch of search teams have been out there. I think a Texas search team's been out there. I haven't heard if EquiSearch has been out there or not. What?
Smith 57 said, if I killed someone, I'd have to tell on myself. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't,
It's all happening. Says horses, yes, today.
Yeah, they said they had horses, and that's good because horses, you're sitting up so high, you can actually see down at an angle. A lot of times you'll notice something in the brush somebody else doesn't. But I hate to say it, I really do, but I just do not believe that they will find her near the home. That's what they are concentrating on today. But I don't. Well, they said they can't find her phone. Somebody said that. I don't know that the items they recovered, they never said if it was her phone or not. The phone, if they can recover the phone, it's just a bunch of data that might be on there, her talking about, domestic abuse or whatever on the phone. So if the person that killed her has the phone, they probably will not find the phone either, ever.
Lulu said that they think that he will confess like Barry, like Chris Watts did. Chris Watts killed his daughters. That's different.
I don't think he will, because he sees the writing on the wall. He knows what will happen. I don't think he will. Now, you got to look at what his actions are right now. He's getting paranoid. I mean, don't you say he's getting paranoid? A guy goes around on his property line with a shotgun and game cams. That's paranoid. Why? I mean, if you're going to go out to set up game cams when you know that all these people are searching, why do you carry a shotgun with you? Unless there's snakes or bears or whatever. I just don't know. To me, it's more of a threat. I'm walking around my property with a shotgun, putting up game cams, telling people do not trespass on my property. I mean, you're getting paranoid when you start doing that, especially because it's your wife missing. You said you wanted to find her. Accept that we're going to help find her. Join the search. And I understand you don't want a bunch of yahoos walking around your house and everything, but that's fine. Just allow a certain amount of people in, maybe 3 or 4 people in, that maybe Andy and a couple of other people in, Colorado does not have the death penalty. I do believe that he is really, he may be he may be a dangerous person right now, and he may feel cornered. And You know, what's Sally Scott say? I see it.
Yeah, I like that. So,
Do not call my neighbor to come check on me. Yeah, if you're worried, call the cops. And yes, I agree. But let me ask you something too. Don't you think it's kind of weird? They can't get a hold of her for like an hour, and they automatically call the police.
that's true.
Right now, if my wife can't get a hold of me for an hour, she's not going to automatically call the police and report me missing.
Especially if I did something.
But I'm not going to automatically call the police after an hour. I just, to me, that seems kind of fun, unless they were trying to get, trying to show, hey, I'm concerned and I want to notify the police so I can rush home and start this. I just don't.
I agree with Irish. He says
What?
he's imprisoning himself because he's already imprisoned in his mind.
Yeah, that's a very good quote there. That is very good. That is very good. Well, let me jump on to something else. Another missing person. I'd like to at least bring up somebody else that we need to be on the lookout for. And this is just be short because it's really, I want y'all to go and visit another channel too. This girl right here is a missing mother, Abby Flynn, I think it is. This happened in February of 2020 in Gloucester, I think it's Gloucester, Michigan. I've got a little video to play on it. She's 59 years old. She was preparing for a Super Bowl party, had a bunch of friends coming over, and called her, was talking on the phone to her son, and says, hey, I'm thinking about going out for a walk. And this is pictures of her. I'm thinking about going out for a walk before everybody gets here, because she liked to do that in town. She liked to get out and walk. And this is like a real quaint little Massachusetts town, really nice area, something similar like Martha's Vineyard, but not all the tourists. And she disappeared off the map.
Michigan or Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Okay.
Disappeared off the map. And there's been about, in the last 15 years, there's been about 15 murders where women have disappeared and they've been found dead several months later. But the chief of police said that had nothing to do with any other crime. Now, I don't know how you can say that, but I'll let you listen to this real quick.
Meanwhile, the Westview community keeping a real close eye on any developments nearly 2,000 miles away. That is where a missing persons case is hitting close to home. 59-year-old Abby Flynn splits her time between Westview and Gloucester, Massachusetts. And it was in that New England town where she was last seen 8 days ago. Channel 2's Hannah McKenzie live now with the latest on the search for Flynn. Hannah?
Good evening. Yeah, neighbors here on Nottingham Street are absolutely floored to hear about Abby Flynn's disappearance. And although the family, Flynn and her family, have lived on the street for more than 25 years, no one here really knew much about them. A Massachusetts mystery with ties to Texas.
Someone that I know on Facebook who had actually posted about this woman missing in Massachusetts, but I didn't put two and two together until you knocked at my door, and I was like, oh my God.
Michelle Deutsch, shocked to hear her longtime neighbor Abby Flynn has been missing now for more than a week. The 59-year-old disappearing February 2nd, a few hours before a party she was hosting at her second home in Gloucester.
Two of her guests that arrived found her not at home, and they thought that was kind of strange, and they contacted the Gloucester Police Department.
Flynn splits her time between Gloucester and Houston. When she is in town, Deutsch says she and her husband, Rich Braverman, keep to themselves.
The times that I had met her, actually she was always very, very nice. They're quiet. I mean, I can't imagine why anyone would want to, go after someone like that, if that's the case that she was kidnapped, or I don't know.
A spokesperson hired by the Gloucester Police Department telling me today there's no sign of foul play and they've suspended their search for the mother of three.
I just hope that she's okay.
Gloucester police may have suspended their search, but that does not mean that the investigation is over. The Massachusetts State Police are bringing in their dive team, and they are going to be searching the waters where Flynn may have been walking that day. Now, here in Houston, if you see Flynn around or you know anything about her disappearance, you are asked to call the Gloucester Police Department. Their phone number is 978-283-1212. Again, that's 978-283-1212. Reporting live in West University, Hannah McKenzie, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Hannah, thank you.
Now listen to that. That's the one thing about this case that really baffles me. The police say there's no foul play. The girl's been, I don't know. Why? I mean, one thing is the woman's been missing since February, and they don't know how or where she went to, but yet there's no foul play. How can they say that? I mean, they could have been abduction or anything. You know, I don't understand that. I do have one other little video on it I wanted to show you.
Police and the U.S. Coast Guard are searching for a missing woman, and they're asking for the public's help in finding her. Thanks for being with us this noontime. I'm Paula Eben. This woman was last seen yesterday afternoon, not far from the water. WBZ's Mike LaCrosse is in Gloucester with an update on the search efforts there. Mike?
Paula, this is still a very active search at this moment. You can see the mobile command center here behind us just off St. Louis Avenue. 60-year-old Abby Flynn has been missing since about 6 o'clock last night. She was set to have a Super Bowl party at her house, but wasn't home when the guests started to show up, which is when they reported her missing to police. The Gloucester police chief says Flynn last spoke to her son around 4 o'clock in the afternoon and told him she was thinking about going for a walk. She's known to hike around the area. Right now, more than 80 officers from around the region are involved in this active search. The State Police Air Wing, along with the Coast Guard, are also involved in this search. At this point, no foul play is suspected.
Right now, we're working primarily under the theory that she did what she said she was going to do, which was take a walk, go for a walk, and perhaps either got lost or had a medical incident or something that rendered her or incapacitated her. And she hopefully is, hunkered down somewhere, and we just have to find her.
Flynn did.
Excuse me. I don't know why they suspended their search. It's crazy, unless they know something they're not putting out in the media, for sure. But we keep that eye on that case and see if anything turns up. I wanted to show you a video. I want you to go to this channel. This is the channel. It's called Crime Chat. It's a guy or girl that runs it. Great channel in about this case. They did some more research about I think there was like 8 or 9 women that have been in the last 15 years that have turned up missing and later found murdered in this area. And they did just a great graphic with a map. And if you go to that Crime Chat channel and look up this particular woman missing, there's a ton of information about the other women. I just didn't cover it. Also, if there is I'm sorry, my little dog's wanting attention. There is a serial killer working out of, it was in 88 and 89, that works a highway right down the middle of Massachusetts. And they have not caught him yet. And he basically kills prostitutes on that main interstate road. And this mainly was for a year, but he's been operating, no telling how long. But they have not arrested him yet. Going back to the Morphew case, we are going to follow this case. And hopefully that something can be determined. I'm really afraid, though, that they're not going to have a development on recovering her remains or finding out what happened to her. And maybe until Morgan or Cassidy, Cordova, or Jeff, whatever his name is, comes forward.
Denise said dogs need a voice too.
Dogs need a voice too. Ours get more than their share, believe me. Our little dog just wants to be held. Oh, she's
12 pounds.
12 pounds. She is not starved to death. This is Gracie. And honestly, she would stay in my lap all night long if I let her. Look at that dog in there. Can you see that dog? No. The other dog, I don't know where the other dog is. I think the other dog's lounging in the other room.
Oh, she's outside.
Oh, she outside? Who's got her outside?
Michael.
Okay. But anybody have anything? We've been on here an hour and 11 minutes. Anybody else want to say anything or what's going on or ask me any questions about anything?
Gracie is cute. She's an old cute dog.
She is 10, almost 11 years old.
You got to tell them a funny story. You got to think of one.
I've been thinking all day of something I could share.
You don't want me to share.
No, I don't want you to share. Some things that I could share, though, are not really prime time. You know, they don't need to be talked about on video.
Roll Tide, Bama. We play tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Our little girl, our big lab has got an eye issue. We've been having to put eye drops in her eye. They're red. Somebody said that, why do I have my eyes shut? I promise you I don't. It's this light right here. It's something to do with shining on here. It makes it look like I don't have my eyes
above your eyes.
And also I'm old and my skin goes down above my eyes. I can't help it. That comes with age. I was trying to think.
Somebody wants to know, is more than one person involved in the missing of Suzanne Morphew?
You know, there's suspicion that there may be, and we don't know. Nobody knows other than the person that did it, other than the police may know. And here's a good point with that. That would be one way, and I heard somebody mention this, but I've been hesitant about mentioning it. That'd be one way for them to get another search warrant. If they discovered in their first search DNA from a third unknown party or a third party that does not live in the house. They maybe found DNA from the husband because he lives there, of course, and another DNA party, you know, and I'm not sure because I didn't see everything that was taken out of the house, but I'm sure they took the blankets off the bed, the covers. You know, they might have even took the covers off the cushions of the couch. I've seen them take a knife actually and cut sheetrock away from the wall. I've seen them take a saw and saw the floors up. I mean, they can take anything really that has evidence on it. But well, I'm trying to read that. It's kind of small.
I told them they're suggesting surgery. I told them you have white coat syndrome.
Yeah, actually I did have eye surgery once. I had this thing appear above my eye. And, they did cut it out. They cut it out once and it came back. Had to do it again. That was pleasant. But yeah, I have white coat syndrome. That's why I'm on blood pressure medicine. You know, that's weird because I had been around so much carnage on wrecks. You'll go out to the wreck scene and you'll see all kinds of carnage and death, you know, and stuff like that. And you can kind of compartmentalize. What am I trying to say? Compartmentalize it. You can put it in a box over here until you can get somewhere to deal with it later. But when it's on you or your family, totally different thing, you know. It's totally different, you know. But I've been just blessed that even though I'm overweight, I'm fairly healthy.
Let me show
Okay,
him.
let me show the big one here.
Okay, you're gonna have to let me in here with him, not her. You can't really see him.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. You can't really see him, can you? He's black.
He's black.
He's black.
Come here, Moses. Look,
Oh, God.
this is Moses. He's our 20-pound black cat.
Our sweetie.
Yeah, I
He
think he's
keeps
more
the
of my
mice away.
cat.
Oh, I got a funny story. So, our son-in-law told us that when a cat brings a mouse up to your house, it's because he's bringing food into your house to let you know he cares too. I called my son-in-law one day and I told him, Moses must think that Tommy is starving to death. There were 4 huge rats laying side by side dead at our door. So Moses thinks Tommy's hungry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, let's get down.
Moses is a good boy. It's funny, all the
Except
dogs.
4 in the morning.
Yeah, he likes to go outside about 4 o'clock in the morning. But all the dogs get along with him. It's amazing. Cats and dogs just lay right up there on the ottoman beside each other. Well, listen, I appreciate my patrons. I actually have 2, and I'm proud of them. And we're going to be sending you a special gift as soon as they arrive. It'll be a refrigerator magnet with our everything on it. I like it. It's something that I kind of designed. And we appreciate everybody coming tonight. Appreciate the super chats. It was very nice of you to do that for us.
Yes.
We do not expect it. It's always a surprise. We will see you Tuesday. The weekend, we are actually going to be up there helping out with her dad. And so we'll be kind of halfway off grid. But I do have internet occasionally. So if anything does break, I'm going to try to get online and put it out there. It would be so great if they would be able to locate Susan, even in a sad situation of finding her remains, but it would give them closure and allow justice to prevail, I believe. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Our goal is to have 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are slowly making it there. I appreciate it if you could give us a like on the like button. That helps YouTube want to share our videos. And I'd appreciate it if you share the videos and come back on Tuesday. We are not streaming on Mondays to keep from button heads with some of the bigger channels. So hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy football's coming back. And
I'm so excited. I'm one of those ladies that loves college football.
yeah, we absolutely love college football, all the teams. Just hope everybody stays well and stays safe. And God bless all of you. And I really, truly mean this. I'm in awe of how many people come and listen to me talk. And remember, somebody out there knows something. And don't just send us a email. If you have information, I will get it to the right people. Or you can just send us an email and give us your opinion on something. I do read every one of them. Thank you very much. I'm going to play my little outro here, and y'all have a very good night. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Good night.